turn on the camera for a few minutes. Probably be a short one here. I just want to make sure that we're actually getting, let me see if this is gonna, let me know here what's going on. There we go. Just want to make sure that we're getting audio. Yep, everything's working good. Okay, so we're all good. So this customer came in with these knives about 5 months ago, 6 months ago. And she came back, she said she just wanted them touched up. They're actually still fairly sharp. So here's the advantage of having them sharpened on a regular basis, is that we don't necessarily need to go to that 120. So we're just going to try this with the, yeah, you know what, I remember these. These have this bevel here, which goes all the way up to about here. See how far that is up on the knife? So I'm going to do these as trailing. Make sure that you guys can see what's going on here. Yeah. And I'm thinking that they're probably sharp enough that they just need to have it just straightened out a little bit. And we don't need to do a whole ton of grinding with an aggressive belt. Yep, we got a nice burr all the way across this one already. Hey Cindy, how you doing? Just checking to see. Pretty close. So bringing them in before they're too dull will maybe once more. Means I really won't have to get aggressive with them with the 120 belt. I'm guessing she uses this one more often. It's a little bit more dull. Yeah, I'm not getting a burr on this one as easy. This one we may have gone ahead and used the 120 on this one. That's okay, we're already there, so. Okay, let's try that and see what happens. like using the Scotch Brite belt just to get some of that burr off. And then the leather, just to polish that edge a little bit. Okay, so let's see what we got. There it is. Isopropyl alcohol to wipe the knives down with. I think I need a new microfiber towel. Okay. I like to make sure that there's no compound left on the knife. So I make sure I get that edge really well. And I can still see some compound on this one right up here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. So let's see how these come out just using the 600 grit. Nice. This is one I'm curious about, see if it came out as well. Absolutely. So there you go. So easy peasy. And we end up not taking a bunch of metal off by running them on the aggressive belt when they bring them in every 5 or 6 months. They tend to be a little easier to sharpen, and they sharpen up easier, and we're not getting really aggressive with them, which I like doing. You know, over time, probably lasts you just as long as if you waited a year and we had to use a more aggressive belt versus every 6 months and using the finer belt. But, you know, having a nice sharp knife in the kitchen is a good thing. So, okay, guys, appreciate it if you hit that like button, subscribe to see more. I know this is a short one, but I just wanted to show you. One other thing I wanted to talk about, there's some videos going on about these angle guides. And quite frankly, there's a lot of products out there that are being promoted that are really wow factors. These angle guides are, I don't know, $25 or so. You can get them from Cliff Curry. He's actually got them cut out a little bit here to accommodate for like bolsters and the thumb screws on some of the knives, which makes it work a little better. And I'm thinking about replacing them with those. But there's some angle guides out there that are upwards of $80, $90, $100. And quite frankly, these things work just fine. You know, having a big wow factor on some angle guide that has, you know, 200 different little modifications to it, to me just isn't worth it. I've been looking at flat hones to get into some shear sharpening. Kind of the same thing with that. There's flat hones out there. Most of them are in the probably $2,700 to $3,200 range, somewhere in there. And then there's some that are, oh man, upwards of $5,000, $6,000. You know, flat hone is a flat hone. There is some quality differences in flat hones, but generally Most of the flat hones that are out there are pretty decent. And I just don't see the reason to spend $6,000 on a flat hone that will do, won't do any better job than a $2,500 flat hone. They build all kinds of wow factor things into them that really don't make a difference in the sharpening, and you're spending a lot more money for stuff. So when you're going after equipment, same thing with these buck tool slow speed sanders. They're not expensive. You can get really expensive belt sanders, all kinds of different configurations. These are at 150, 160 bucks, I think. I wouldn't advocate buying cheap equipment, but if you're buying a decent brand and it's a decent price, they're going to do the job for you. So if you're in the business or thinking about getting into the business, don't spend a lot of money on a lot of this wow factor stuff that people are showing out there, because it really doesn't make any difference when it comes right down to the actual sharpening. So, okay, guys, I think that's it for today. I'll get down off my little pedestal. Hope you guys have a great day, and we will catch you in the next one.